Mount Shasta within California is the towering Mount Shasta, which is covered by numerous glaciers. Mount Shasta is the tallest point in the state, and has erupted numerous times in the last 10,000 years, including its last eruption in 1250 CE. Despite all that we know about this volcano, there was a group of mysterious landforms to the north-northwest whose origins remained unknown until quite recently. Hundreds of unusual hills there, hundreds of closely spaced rounded hills are present which are up to 200 meters or 656 feet taller than the surrounding landscape. While this in of itself may not seem strange, what is quite peculiar is the young age of these hills, as they clearly formed in the last 1 million years. Despite looking like cryogenic earth hummocks which form in some clay-rich areas that undergo frequent freeze-thaw cycles, these hummocks are too large. While cryogenic hummocks are typically no taller than 1.5 meters in height, these hummocks are far larger. Similar features can be found around the globe in areas without a frequent freeze-thaw cycle, such as the slopes of Mount Raung in Indonesia or the Baru volcano in Panama. Known today as a great example of hummocky terrain, these did not form from glaciers, frost or wind. Rather, the mystery mounds near Mount Shasta formed during one of the planet's largest volcano-related landslides in the last 5 million years. This fact was not realized until 1980 after the catastrophic eruption of Mount St. Helens. Hummocky terrain forms in 1980. During that eruption, the volcano lost 1,300 feet in height as 2.8 cubic kilometers of its edifice collapsed to the north in a massive debris avalanche. Among the destroyed terrain, it left behind a series of mounds which almost perfectly resembled those seen at Mount Shasta. From this it was inferred that hummocky terrain originates during massive debris avalanches which typically occur at volcanoes since they are often unstable landforms. Before the modern Mount Shasta began to form, a different prior volcano stood in its place. Ancient Mount Shasta. This volcano was constructed to a height of several thousand feet between 590,000 and 340,000 years ago via a combination of explosive and effusive eruptions. As the years progressed, significant portions of the existing volcano were weakened by hydrothermal alteration, as volcanic rock was changed in part to clay minerals. Then 340,000 years ago, something caused a large landslide to begin on the western and northwestern flank of Mount Shasta. This landslide soon propagated until an entire side of the mountain was collapsing. As 45 cubic kilometers of the volcano slid to the west and northwest at a speed of several hundred miles per hour, it destroyed all vegetation in its path and buried the land in several hundred feet of rock. This landslide continued on for a seemingly endless distance, traveling 27 miles or 45 kilometers before coming to a stop. During this slide, large mounds were created across much of the devastated area, generating what is now known as hummocky terrain. In total, 260 square miles or 675 square kilometers of land were covered due to this massive collapse at Mount Shasta. So, if you see large mounds within 50 miles or 80 kilometers of a volcano, it likely indicates that the associated volcano once also produced a massive summit collapse and landslide. Hummocky terrain in Russia. Two more recent groups of hummocky terrain were formed in Russia after the large 1956 eruption of Bazimiani and the 1964 eruption of Shivelik. Although not present at every volcano, these landforms are surprisingly common around the planet. With this being said, while many collapses are associated with volcanic eruptions, some occur without an eruption. Thanks for watching. If you would like to request a specific topic, please leave a comment below. Additionally, I would like to thank my new patron Matt Toby for supporting this channel.